Welcome to Half Haunted. Today, I'm your host, Candi, and I'm with my lovely co-host, Raji. Hello, Raji.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody.
Today, we're taking a journey into the world of famous cemeteries, Part 1. These final resting places that are anything but restful, from ghostly figures to mysterious phenomenon. These cemeteries remind us that the past never truly stays buried. Let's uncover these stories. So let's begin our journey in the Midwest, just outside of Chicago at Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. Once a serene resting place, the site has become infamous for paranormal activity, fueled by decades of desecration, tragedy, and even occult rituals. It is said that the restless spirits include mob victims, a grieving mother, and even a ghostly farmer with his plow. One of the cemetery's most famous tales, witnesses report seeing a ghostly farmer and his horse pulling a plow from a nearby pond. This haunting stems from a tragic accident in the 1870s when both drowned. During Prohibition, the pond became a dumping ground for mob hits. Visitors frequently hear heated arguments near the water, though no one is there. A glowing, old-fashioned farmhouse has been spotted near the cemetery. Strangely, it changes location and vanishes when approached. What's more unsettling is there is no record of such a house ever existing. Perhaps one of the most famous spirits is the lady in white, is often seen near a child's grave, carrying an aura of profound sadness. A photograph taken in 1991 immortalized her ghostly figure sitting on a bench. The spectral guardian, the caretaker and his dog, this ghostly guardian appears to ward off trespassers, often accompanied by his ghostly dog. Witnesses describe an intense sense of unease and presence. With its combination of historical tragedy and paranormal activity, Bachelor's Grove continues to draw ghost hunters and the curious alike. Its haunting tales remain as compelling as the mysteries they leave unanswered.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's one place that it's one of the most famous cemeteries ever, obviously, but it's also in a kind of like a interesting neighborhood. It's kind of creepy to get to, too. It's very literally like in the middle of the woods type deal. So I would never go by myself, so it wouldn't have to go with me on that one. But yeah. But there's a photograph, and I'll try to, for the viewers that see this on YouTube, post a famous photograph. I'm pretty sure you've seen it. So that's Bachelor's Grove Cemetery in Chicago.
Now we're going to
Illinois.
Now let's cross the Atlantic to Greyfriars Kirkyard in Edinburgh, Scotland. Known as one of the world's most haunted cemeteries, Greyfriars is a home to a dark history and an array of violent hauntings that leave visitors shaken and sometimes injured. A burial ground for the tragic and the torn. Established centuries ago, Greyfriars was originally a resting place for monks and plague victims. Over time, it became the final home for an estimated 250,000 people, many buried in unmarked or mass graves. Man, that's a lot. In the 17th century, the cemetery became a site of unimaginable suffering. Sir George Boydie Mackenzie imprisoned over 1,000 Covenanters, Scottish Presbyterian dissenters, on the grounds where they were tortured and executed. The disturbance of Mackenzie's vault. This man's nuts, huh? Almost man broke into Mackenzie's mausoleum and fell into a pit of plague victims' bones. Since then, violent hauntings have surged, leading to the site being sealed off. Visitors report being slapped, scratched, and even strangled by unseen forces. Others describe feeling gross, cobwebs, smelling foul odors, and experiencing sudden drops of temperature. This is gross. Voices and cries echo from the now empty venters, as if the anguish of those tortured were there lingers in the air. From orbs and shadows to batteries draining unexpectedly, Greyfriars is a hot spot for paranormal investigators. Some visitors even leave with scratches or burns they can't explain. Greyfriars Kirkyard stands as a stark reminder of Scotland's turbulent history and a beacon for those drawn to the supernatural. It's not just a cemetery, it's a gateway into the unknown.
Well, it's interesting part of history, but I don't know about the homeless dude falling into the pit of bones and the smelling of the foul odor. Ugh.
Oh,
I would be like,
homeboy was home.
that's gross.
I mean, it's not like he had a fountain that he could bathe in every day or something. It's probably just,
I don't know.
because, up to the city of the dead, New Orleans, New Orleans is a city known for its vibrant culture, voodoo heritage, and tales of the supernatural. Nestled within its historic streets lies St. Louis Cemetery, number 1, a city of the dead with its iconic above-ground crypts and eerie reputation. That place is kind of cool. I do have to say it's kind of cool looking, though. It's a place where the living and the dead seem to coexist in a uniquely Nolans way. Marie Laveau, the legendary voodoo queen of New Orleans, is one of the cemetery's most famous residents. Her spirit is said to fiercely protect her tomb. Visitors who show disrespect, like vandalizing the tomb, report slaps, scratches, and even sudden illnesses. But for those who honor her with offerings of coins, beads, or candles, some claim to receive good fortune or answers to their prayers. Her spectral figure has been spotted wandering the grounds, sometimes accompanied by spiritual animals like a black dog or a snake. Vignes? I'm going to say it's Vignes. Henry,
We'll go with that.
for all I know, his name could be Henri, but we're going to go with Henry Vignes, a sailor betrayed out of his burial plot. Ooh. Okay. You saw that. Okay. A sailor betrayed out of his burial plot roams the cemetery, still searching for a proper resting place. His ghost is so lifelike that some visitors only realize they've encountered a spirit when he vanishes mid-conversation. Visitors report ghostly touches, whispers, and even apparitions. A famous photo captured what appears to be the White Lady, a spirit seated solemnly near her tomb. Access to St. Louis Cemetery number 1 is now restricted to guided tours, a move aimed to protecting its historic sites and preventing vandalism. Whether it's the commanding presence of Marie Laveau or the tragic search of Henry Vignes, the cemetery remains a powerful focal point of New Orleans' spiritual and supernatural lore. I wouldn't mind going to see that again, having some beignets and a muffalata. I mean, it is amazing. It's crowded, and people do walk through there, and I'm not cool about vandalizing things you should.
Yeah, that's not cool.
I'd be slapped around, too, if that was the case. Don't do things like that. All right.
Right?
Yes.
All right. Next up is Lona China Cemetery, a hidden haunting in Texas. It's in San Antonio, Texas, lies Lona China Cemetery, also known as Guzman Burial Ground or the Chinese Cemetery. It's a place where cultural tensions, tragic love, and eerie legends intertwine. Despite its modest size, the cemetery is packed with stories that will chill the spine and touch the heart. One of the cemetery's most enduring tales is that of a Chinese immigrant woman and her lover. After a lightning strike tragically killed a young man, the woman was so heartbroken that she took her own life on his grave. Today, visitors report seeing her ghostly figure, a tall, misty apparition often appearing near his grave or wandering the grounds. Another local legend tied to the cemetery is a story of the Donkey Lady, a woman who was burned and disfigured after a tragic accident. She became an outcast, mocked, and mistreated in life. Her mournful cries are said to echo through the cemetery at night, a haunting reminder of her suffering. Thrill seekers often flash their headlights at the cemetery gate 5 times, hoping to summon the glowing mist or apparition. Some describe these mists as taking on human-like forms, even approaching their cars. Others recount a chilling touch or hearing whispers. The cemetery is eerily quiet, but visitors have reported sudden cries for help or distant pleas, believed to be echoes of the Donkey Lady's anguish. Lona China Cemetery is a powerful reminder that even small tucked-away places can hold immense emotional supernatural energy. Its stories of heartbreaking ghostly encounters draw the curious and the brave, offering an intimate look into the folklore of San Antonio. Now, I've been to San Antonio, but I've never heard of the cemetery. So if I ever go back to Texas, I'm going to take a look at this cemetery because, I love cemeteries.
Yeah, I'm just standing in one. Well, I'm more sitting in it.
Mhm.
Let's go to we're going to Sacramento, California. The Sacramento City Cemetery, also known as the Old City Cemetery, is one of California's most historic burial grounds. Established in the mid-1800s, it holds the graves of cholera victims, pioneers, and local heroes. While its beauty attracts visitors, its ghostly legends are what captivate the imagination. May Woolsey, who tragically died at the age of 13, has become one of the cemetery's most beloved spirits. Visitors describe feeling a sense of joy and warmth around her grave. A mysterious trunk discovered in her former home contained personal belongings and a letter believed to be from the afterlife. May's spirit is often seen playing near her tombstone, spreading an uplifting energy. A spectral pit bull roams the cemetery, believed to have belonged to either a caretaker or a buried owner. Friendly but loyal, this ghostly pup never strays beyond the cemetery gates, guarding its home even in the afterlife. A railroad engineer who sacrificed his life to save passengers. William Brown's spirit is said to appear near his grave, dressed in his signature black suit. His story inspires both admiration and an eerie respect from visitors. Ghost hunters often record disembodied voices in the cemetery, with some commanding no pictures or shouting, "Get out!" These stern warnings add a chilling layer to the serene grounds. During the 18th cholera epidemic, many victims were buried without markers. It's said their restless spirits contribute to the cemetery's haunted reputation, reminding visitors of Sacramento's tragic past. Sacramento City Cemetery is a hauntingly beautiful blend of history and paranormal. Whether you're drawn to May's playful energy or the ghost dog's loyal watch, every corner of the cemetery offers a story and perhaps a spectral encounter.
Interesting.
Yes.
That's kind of like the Woodland Cemetery here, where most of them cholera, epidemic in the late 1800s.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of back then that ran rapid. Across the border in Victoria, Canada, lies Ross Bay Cemetery. This Victorian-era burial ground is celebrated for its scenic beauty and its tranquil atmosphere, but don't let that peaceful interior fool you. Ross Bay Cemetery is alive with ghostly activity. Its spirits, while less menacing than others, still leave visitors unnerved and intrigued. On Christmas Eve, 1890, David Fee was gunned down in cold blood. His ghost, often seen as a white mist, wanders near his grave, seemingly searching for justice for his killer. The tragic circumstances of his death add a sense of sorrow to his ghostly presence. Isabella Ross, the first female landowner of the British Columbia, mourns the loss of her husband and her struggles in life. Clad in black mourning attire, her apparition gazes longingly toward the bay that bears her name, a haunting figure of loss and resilience. Visitors report seeing a glowing mist in the shape of a young woman gracefully dancing between the tree. The ethereal beauty of this apparition is captivating, but leaves observers with lingering unease. The elegantly dressed elderly couple floats through the cemetery, their feet never touching the ground. They embody the Victorian charm of the era, but their ghostly presence serves as a reminder of the passage of time. Eerie dragging sounds, as if the body is being pulled, have been heard along the gravel paths. Visitors encounter glowing mist and ghostly lights, lending an otherworldly ambience to the cemetery's already haunting beauty. Ross Bay Cemetery is a tranquil yet mysterious place where history and hauntings coexist. From David Fee's tragic murder to the sorrowful spirit of Isabella Ross, each ghost carries a story that echoes through time.
There you go. It's amazing how many cemeteries there are and how many of these things cemeteries I've never heard of before. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've never heard half of these.
We're going to God's Acres Cemetery now. Our first stop is God's Acres Cemetery, a historic burial ground nestled in Bethany, West Virginia. While this name evokes peace, the cemetery's heavy atmosphere and paranormal activity suggest anything but. Surrounded by a peculiar gateless wall built in 1866, God's Acre feels enclosed, not just physically, but spiritually. This thick stone barrier seems to trap not only history, but also an unsettling energy within its bounds. Visitors often describe stepping inside the cemetery as entering another world. A heavy, almost suffocating feeling greets them, only to vanish once they leave the enclosure. The Campbell family, including the famous missionary Alexander Campbell, was buried here, but their spirits are said to roam elsewhere. Sightings of the Campbells occur at Bethany College and their former mansion, hinting that even in death, they are restless. Apparitions, shadowy figures, and unexplainable noises plague visitors. Paranormal investigators have captured ectoplasm and orbs on camera, while some brave souls report hearing screams or faint whispers. One particularly chilling tale involves a ghost near the Argyle Campbell tomb. Armed with an antique gun, this spirit allegedly haunts intruders in their dreams, leaving physical marks, such as bloody fingers and even what appears to be bullet wounds. Ooh, no.
Hell no.
Right, those overnight often experience horrifying dreams that bleed into reality. One visitor awoke with cuts matching the events of their night. No. Matching the
Hell
their
no.
nightmare. I'm sorry, I had to roll my. God's Acres Cemetery is more than just a resting place. It's a living reminder of Bethany's history and a hotbed of paranormal enthusiasts seeking encounters with the unknown. Whether it's the oppressive atmosphere or the phantom armed protector, this cemetery offers an unforgettable and often unsettling experience.
First, how do you spend the night there? Second of all, hell no to the scratches that match whatever happened in the dream happened there in real life. No, that is one cemetery I'm staying far away from. No, thank you.
Right, but I'm thinking, no, I don't have time for this. Respect, daytime, sun's out, I'm good.
Exactly.
Our next destination takes us to Columbus, Ohio, where the Camp Chase Confederate Cemetery serves as both a historical site and a haunting tribute to lives lost during the Civil War. This burial ground holds over 2,260 Confederate soldiers who perished in a Union POW camp. The tragic conditions, disease, starvation, and heartbreak seem to have left an indelible mark on this quiet place. The most famous spirit is a lady in gray, a ghostly figure dressed in a War era gray traveling suit. She's often seen weeping by specific graves, including that of the unknown soldier and Benjamin F. Allen. Fresh flowers mysteriously appear on these graves after her sightings, adding to her mystique. During the Civil War reenactment in 1988, strange winds overturned tents and tables while mournful cries echoed through the cemetery. Many believe that this was the Lady in Gray mourning the soldiers once again. Some believe she may be Louisiana Ransburg, R-E-N-S-B, or Louisiana Ransburg Briggs, a Southerner who secretly tended Confederate graves while living in a Union loyal area. Whether it's Briggs or another spirit, her actions symbolize the enduring pain of war and loss. Witnesses report the Lady in Gray walking through the trees and closed gates or appearing partially transparent. Despite her somber presence, she seems determined to keep her vigil over these forgotten soldiers. Paranormal investigators have documented shadowy male figures and recorded unexplained sounds. One photo captured a shadowy figure near a grave, but subsequent shots showed nothing there. Camp Chase is a place of mourning, not just for the Lady in Gray, but for the many soldiers who died far from home. It's a poignant reminder of the cost of war and a hauntingly beautiful site where history and the supernatural coexist. This stuff is interesting, but it's funny because when you visit battlegrounds, I remember one time it was a page in a calendar that people would visit all these different battlegrounds and they would take dirt and you could see all the different shades of dirt. I mean, it's been years passing since we've had these wars occur, but there's still blood in that dirt somewhere deep down after all the rain.
Right.
But just to know that there's so many different shades of dirt and what happened there it's amazing. I don't know if I could say it's cool, whatever, but you're in awe. It's a lot. It's a lot.
All right. So in Tombstone, Arizona is Boot Hill Cemetery, a final resting place for over 250 individuals, many of whom met violent ends in the lawless days of the Wild West. Named for those who died with their boots on, Boot Hill embodies the rugged spirit of the frontier. Beyond the tales of shootouts and duels lies a chilling undercurrent of paranormal activity. Boot Hill is a time capsule of Tombstone's tumultuous past, with outlaws, lawmen, and settlers buried side by side. Among its most famous residents is Billy Flanton, who perished in the legendary gunfight at OK Corral. Visitors often report seeing Billy's ghostly figure rising from his grave and walking towards Tombstone, as if he's reliving his final moments before the gunfight. A ghostly man dressed in his attire, often holding a knife, has appeared in multiple photographs. Strangely, he's never seen by the photographers in real life, adding to the eerie mystery. Known as the Queen of the Red Light District, Dutch Annie was a beloved figure. Despite her tumultuous life, her apparition, being clad in period attire, has said to linger near her grave. Tourists report hearing footsteps following them, even when the cemetery is empty. Photographs capture ghostly silhouettes, including a man in a hat with another with long hair. Boot Hill Cemetery is more than just a historical landmark. It's a living reminder of the untamed days of the frontier, where life and death were often a heartbeat apart. Whether it's Billy Clanton retracing his faithful steps or Dutch Annie's lingering presence, Boot Hill offers visitors an unforgettable blend of history and hauntings. So I told you, I think in previous episodes, I went there before and I thought it was fake. I didn't realize people back then put rock. I mean, it looks fake.
Really?
To me, it does, but that's how they buried them back in those days in the West.
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat. I didn't think it was scary because I thought it was made up.
Yeah.
But Boot Hill is a nice little smaller cemetery.
I'll have to go. From the dusty trails of Tombstone, we travel east to Gudelberg Cemetery in South Wales, New York, a new town I've never heard of before. Unlike Boot Hill's Wild West lore, Gudelberg's reputation is steeped in tragedy and horror, shaped by dark events and chilling hauntings. Dr. Albert Speaker's haunting. Dr. Speaker, a notorious 19th century abortionist? What? Wait, hold on.
Yeah, abortionist.
Hold up now. People of the cemetery. Dr. Albert Speaker was a notorious 18th century abortionist, is said to haunt the cemetery in a white lab coat. His tragic victims, women who died during procedures, are often seen wandering near the pond, crying out in anguish. The pond, rumored to hide remains, emits chilling cries of babies and unexplainable mists. After heavy rains, bones are said to surface, adding a horrifying layer to its reputation.
Oh, no.
Oh, word.
My God.
Witness report seeing tiny crawling figures, resembling fetuses among the graves. Adding to the terror, large black dogs with glowing eyes, known as hellhounds, are said to patrol the cemetery. Their howls unnaturally bone-chilling. A ghost woman in a fine white dress is often spotted along the cemetery road, believed to be one of Dr. Speaker's victims. She vanishes when approached, leaving behind an overwhelming sense of sorrow. Legend has it that disturbing the cemetery or stealing items from the grounds brings bad luck or even physical harm. Many who've taken objects report unrelenting misfortune until the items are returned. Gutenberg Cemetery's tragic history and unsettling paranormal activity make it a destination for those brave enough to face its dark past. From the cries of unseen children to the looming specter of Dr. Speaker, every visit offers a chance to experience a chilling aura of firsthand. I
will never go to that one either.
Absolutely horrible. That is no. You know what? Let's go to Maryland. Westminster Presbyterian Church Cemetery, also known as Westminster Hall and Burial Ground. Located in Baltimore, Maryland, this historic site is not only the final resting place of literary icon Edgar Allan Poe, but also the epicenter of eerie legends and paranormal activity. Poe's spirit, dressed in black and carrying a cane, is said to appear near his grave, especially around his birthday. I don't even know when his birthday is. Witnesses report hearing faint tapping sounds as if Poe himself is still crafting his dark tales. From 1949 to 2010, an unidentified figure left roses, cognac, and cryptic notes at Poe's grave on his birthday. Though the visitor has vanished, the tradition lives on in public reenactment. One of Westminster's most chilling stories involves the disembodied screams of a murdered minister whose skull allegedly cannot be silenced. Visitors claim to hear muffled cries that invoke an overwhelming sense of dread. Beneath the cemetery-like catacombs that have witnessed grave robbing, suicides and Civil War disturbances, whispers, sudden chills, and shadowy figures make this era a hotspot for paranormal investigators. The cemetery's atmospheric architecture amplifies its haunting allure, making it a favorite destination for history buffs and thrill seekers alike. Westminster Presbyterian Church Cemetery offers a unique blend of history, gothic mystery, and spectral intrigue. From Poe's spectral presence to the eerie energy of his catacombs, the cemetery reminds us of the fine line between literary and the supernatural.
Yeah, I'm not sure about catacombs and all.
I mean, if there's a door and it's gated off and it's part of a tour, I'm like, wow, because I think there's supposed to be catacombs underneath the city of New York too. So,
All right. So next, we travel to Howard Street Cemetery in Salem, Massachusetts. While established after the infamous Salem witch trials, this burial ground remains inextricably tied to one of the darkest chapters in American history. During the 1692 witch trials, Corey was tortured to death by pressing a brutal punishment intended to force him to plead. Before his death, he cursed Salem and its sheriffs, a curse that many believe continues to affect the city to this day. Corey's ghost has been wandering the cemetery, often appearing before major disasters in Salem, such as the Great Fire of 1914. Witnesses describe a heavy, foreboding atmosphere in his presence. A ghostly dog is often seen weaving through the gravestones, its glowing eyes adding an unsettling element to its appearance. Some believe the dog is an omen tied to Corey's curse. Since Corey's death, Salem sheriffs have suffered unusual fates, including early deaths, chronic health problems, many involving chest pains, as if mimicking the pressing that killed Corey. Visitors frequently captured photographs of Corey's ghost and the mysterious black dog, while others reported hearing disembodied voices and experiencing an inexplicable sense of unease. Howard Street Cemetery is more than a burial ground. It's a living testament to the horrors of the Salem witch trials. Giles Corey's defiance as ghostly warnings ensure that the tragedies of the past remain vividly alive in the present. Yeah, that's interesting to be pressed like that.
No,
witch trial.
Not it. I mean, being pressed. That's like something my cousin showed me when I was in New York. This dude was tapping on his elephant.
Mm-hmm.
Elephant was like, I'm done with you, and folded him up like an envelope, pressing.
No.
Be kind animals. We're going to New Hampshire now. Hollis, New Hampshire has a cemetery called Pine Hill, known to locals as Blood Cemetery. Established in 1769, this burial ground earned its chilling moniker from the Blood family buried here, not from violent acts as the name might suggest. Despite its peaceful appearance, Pine Hill is teeming with ghostly activity. The spirit of Abel Blood, buried in 1867, is said to wander the cemetery searching for his wife or keeping an eerie vigil over his grave. Legends claim his headstone features a hand carving that points up or down, signaling his spiritual whereabouts. Drivers report a young boy running into the road or waving for help, only for him to vanish without a trace. His tragic death tied to the cemetery leaves an enduring presence on the surrounding roads. Adding to a touch of the unusual, a spectral Maine Coon cat has been spotted weaving through the gravestones before disappearing into thin air. Paranormal investigators have captured chilling photos of shadowy figures and unexplainable myths, deepening the cemetery's supernatural lore. Pine Hill Cemetery's blend of historical roots and ghostly encounters makes it one of New England's most haunted spots. From Abel Blood's restless spirit to the mysterious vanishing cat, it's a place where folklore and the paranormal collide.
I wonder, since you're allergic to cats, I wonder if you came into contact with a ghost cat, if you would seize up, even if it was a ghost. Probably not, but
right. And there's only one person. And what's crazy is the name Blood, because it's like every word we use for the most part comes from somewhere, even as what people call swear words, because guaranteed it was someone's last name at some point. And when they say, pardon my French, we know where the history of where all that comes from. But Blood, unless you've ever known someone named Blood, I've known one person named Blood, and she lives down the street from me. I've known her for, since like 2008, 2009, which is like cool. Blood.
yeah.
Pretty cool. All right.
Yeah.
I hear the trumpets. Where are we going?
We are going to, let me see if I can pronounce this right. Cemetery. So we travel south to New Orleans, home of the stunning Metairie Cemetery, spanning 150 acres. Metairie is not just a resting place, but a monument to the city's rich history and ghostly legends. Its ornate tombs, grand sculptures, and winding streets tell tales of both beauty and macabre. Charles Howard Curse. After being sparred by the Metairie Jockey Club, Charles Howard allegedly cursed its members before his death. Today, disturbing moans and thuds near his tomb suggest he hasn't let go of this grudge. The flaming tomb of Josie Arlington. Arlington's crypt glows red at night, with sculpted flames appearing to flicker. Her statue, known for its fiery temperament and life, is said to move or pound on the tomb's door. Chief David Hennessy. The ghost of the murder police chief is seen walking around the grounds in his old-fashioned uniform as if he's still on duty. A ghostly gambler is said to have hung himself after a devastating loss at the racetrack. Still haunts the grounds. The Metairie Cemetery is more than a burial ground. It's a tapestry of New Orleans history, blending elegance with eerie legends. From glowing tombs to ghostly patrols, the cemetery is a testament to the city's ability to merge beauty and the supernatural. We turn to Deerfield, Massachusetts, the old burying grounds, also known as Old Albany Cemetery. The cemetery bears witness to one of the darkest chapters in colonial history, the 1704 raid on Deerfield Village during the French and Indian Wars. Beneath its tranquil exterior lies a legacy of sorrow and resilience. The cemetery is home to a mound marked "The Dead of 1704" from a raid are buried. Visitors often report an overwhelming feeling of sadness near this site. The Reverend's wife, killed during the raid, appears as a transparent figure near her grave, or the Deerfield River. Witnesses describe her presence as a deeply sorrowful yet peaceful. Every February 29th, mournful cries are heard near the mass grave. Some believe the spirit of a maid who perished during the raid is forever tied to this tragic date. Eunice says a ghostly figure is also spotted near the river. This ghost, from Eunice Williams to the leap year cries, keep the stories of tragedy and survival alive, making it a haunting historical landmark.
All right. Now this stop takes us to Salem Cemetery, located in Hendriesburg, Ohio, in the quiet Egypt Valley. This historic cemetery, established in the 19th century, is a peaceful place overshadowed by tragic tales and haunting phenomena. Louisa Catherine Fox was just 13 years old when her life was brutally cut short by her fiance, Thomas Carr, in 1869. Well, they didn't have TV back then, so I mean, okay, whatever.
Right.
Anyway, as I was saying, weeping beneath the large tree, Louisa's murder sent shockwaves through the community. Carr, who confessed not only killing Louisa, but to 14 other murders, left a dark legacy that lingers over the cemetery.
She married a serial killer.
Right? Wow. Legend has it that a ghost dog with blazing eyes roamed the cemetery at night, chasing away visitors before vanishing into the darkness. Some believe these are hellhounds guarding the cemetery from intruders. A mysterious house with 7 red candles in its windows is said to appear at night. Witnesses who approach it, I guess they notice when they get close to it, it vanishes into thin air. Alvin, a bachelor buried in Salem Cemetery, is said to pinch female visitors, seeking companionship even in death. Ooh, he nasty. Salem Cemetery's chilling tales from Louisa's restless, the ominous ghost dogs, make it a hub for paranormal investigators and curious thrill seekers. Its stories remind us that history often leaves echoes, and some are louder than others.
And Alvin the creeper tries to touch women even in after.
Come on.
That's crazy.
Yes.
So we're going to head over to the heart of Kansas, where Stoll Cemetery resides in the small, unassuming community of Stoll. Though tranquil at first glance, the cemetery is infamous for its ghostly activity and ominous lore. Visitors report being toppled or pinned by inexplicable gusts of wind that swirl around the cemetery. On one occasion, a visitor witnessed flames forming in perfect circles around the cemetery corners, an unsettling phenomenon that defies explanation. Crazy. So the church that once stood on these grounds was said to remain completely dry inside no matter how heavy the rain, how heavy the storm. Though the church was demolished in 2002, its eerie legends persist. Ghostly images of hands and figures appear in photos. Visitors have reported being touched by unseen entities, leaving them disoriented or experiencing memory loss. Yeah. No. One of the cemetery's most infamous legends is the spirit of a witch who warns visitors not to disturb her grave. EVPs have captured eerie threats attributed to her.
All good.
Next to her grave, the disturbed earth on her husband's tombstone suggests something or someone trying to escape. Adding to its chilling lore, Skull Cemetery is said to be haunted by the spirit of a half-human, half-devil child. During equinoxes, the eerie lights and orbs are often reported in connection with the legend. Stoll Cemetery legends extend far beyond urban myths, blending historical tragedy with unsettling paranormal phenomenon. Through the gateway to hell story has been debunked, the cemetery's ghostly activity keeps its dark reputation alive. So I think this is the cemetery that's on private land or private property. I think this is, don't quote me on this one, people.
Right.
I don't know, but I think this is the one that you have to be very careful when you go visit. It's not where you can just go and see. So, with all those cemeteries, thank you for joining us as we explored some of the world's most haunted cemeteries. Whether it's the echoes of the tragedy or the spirits that refuse to rest, these sites remind us that every grave holds a story. Until next time, stay curious and stay haunted.